Now, traditionally, newspaper reporters were held to the highest standards of journalism. You'd wake up in the morning, throw on a robe, snatch the Washington Post off the driveway, and settle into your breakfast nook with a cup of coffee. If you read an article in the Washington Post, you assumed it was true. Just listen to Walter Cronkite.
The old principle is of print journalism. It's good journalism. It's honesty, fairness, truth, and totality of the story, telling both sides of a controversial story. All of those things should be practiced in every story that is carried on the air.
Newsrooms used to be filled with scrappy middle-class guys chasing scoops with a pen and paper. Today's newsrooms, they're staffed with insecure social climbers from Northeast liberal arts colleges. The culture has been captured by academic snobs and American intelligence. Reporters are just infantry for an ideology. They wage corporate terrorism against their enemies, seeking to bankrupt whoever editor tells them to do. Just this weekend, CBS News pressured Apple CEO Tim Cook to pull advertising from Twitter.
Should Apple continue to advertise on Twitter?
It's something that we ask ourselves. Generally, my view is Twitter's an important property. I like the concept that it's there for discourse and there is a town square. There's also some things about it I don't like.
There's discourse, and then there's anti-Semitism. And
Yeah,
that
which,
bright line is...
It's abhorrent, just point blank. There is no place for it.
So is this something you're constantly evaluating, or...?
It's something we constantly ask ourselves.
Persuasion's dead. We agree to disagree, that's dead. Today, if you disagree with the wrong people, you're to be destroyed. First punch is your character, second punch your bank account. And when you're in the crosshairs of a journalistic assassination attempt, it's terrifying. Dave Portnoy, the president and founder of Barstool Sports, not his first rodeo. He's been attacked for decades. But he never thought he'd be attacked for helping mom-and-pop pizza places survive the pandemic. Portnoy's been doing pizza reviews all over the country and raising $50 million for small business. It's free publicity.
It was an assembly line of pictures over there. All right, we're at Di Lorenzo's, Robbinsville, New Jersey, place they've been telling us we had to get to. Ooh, look at that. The tomatoes really out on top and blinging right there. I was getting nervous, Frankie, because they were taking so many pictures. It's like the pizza's cooking in that box, and we all know what's the number one enemy of a pizza? Spending too much time in this box. This thing's not even thinking of flopping. One bite, here we go. Very crunchy, very firm, very good. And this thing has bite, it has pop, it has spunk, it has pizzazz.
Then Dave had an idea. The One Bite Pizza Fest. This Saturday in Coney Island, he's bringing together over 35 pizza joints from around the nation to showcase their best pies. Sponsors and advertisers helped produce the event. But the Washington Post couldn't tolerate a pizza party for charity. Food reporter Emily Heel, whose latest articles include "The Pumpkin Spice Latte Just Turned 20, This Is How We Got Here," and Chick-fil-A's Pimento Cheese Chicken Sandwich is a detour worth taking, decided, I'm going to toss a hand grenade into a pizza party. Screw small business. Food reporter Emily emailed all of Dave Portnoy's sponsors. Here's one of her emails, quote, "We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors have drawn criticism by seeming to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogynistic comments and other problematic behavior." And when Dave found out, he did what she didn't do. He called her.
We have this pizza fest happening on Saturday, and you're reaching out to our advertisers, and you're basically sending an email that says, to the effect, Dave's a misogynist, racist.
No, I'm not. I haven't said anything like that.
I can read if you want. If you want, I can read what you actually sent. I have it. We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors and participants have drawn criticism by seemingly to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogynic comments and other problematic behavior.
Oh, that's the one I sent to, which was definitely the most pointed of them because I really did want them to respond, and I was hoping to get something from them.
You said you didn't do it. Then I have the exact evidence of you doing it. So
no, I didn't say I didn't do that. I said I did. That was the one that was the most pointed.
Well, no.
So immediately Dave knows he's dealing with a liar with an agenda, which is funny because she's a food critic. Usually she writes about how food tastes. But this had nothing to do with pizza. She's cold calling sponsors, telling them Dave's the devil and they should pull out of Pizza Fest.
Why would you include that in the email to sponsors?
Because I was hoping for a dialogue with them. You know, sometimes you have to say something like, this is like, you know, it's sort of a reporting tactic. When you want someone to respond, you kind of have to indicate that there might be something negative, and then you get them to engage. That's all I was trying to do. I really wanted them to engage with me.
That is a sad state of journalism if that's a tactic.
So Emily the heel lied, got caught, and then claimed lying was a reporting tactic. That's like a reporter emailing a business saying, hey, your store's on fire, call me back. And why are reporters inciting ad boycotts? No one else cares who's sponsoring the pizza party. So why does the Washington Post? And why does the Washington Post want to do damage to hardworking pizza people? Because they hate Dave Portnoy that much? If this is all about Dave Portnoy, then why don't they just go talk to Dave Portnoy?
When were you going to reach out?
We were planning on doing it tomorrow morning, but
So you're going to write the article and then give me, like, I've had that a bunch. People write a full article and then give me the points after.
We're doing a bunch of reporting, and we wanted to make sure that when we finally did talk to you, we could really kind of present what, you know, or talk about things more fully based on
like what? Like, it sounds like you have your opinion made of me based on that email. This sounds like something who's going to hit me last second, be like comments on all this negative stuff.
No, this is kind of standard journalistic stuff. Like,
Unfortunately, yes.
Dave, you're evil. We're going to print in 5 minutes any comment. That's journalism today. It's happened to me dozens of times. Almost every reporter writing about Fox pulls the same stunt. They're just checking a box so then they can call the assassination journalism.
Can we set up a time to talk tomorrow? Would that be okay? Like, I want to talk to you. I really do. I just want to make sure, like, I've got all my questions ready and stuff to talk to you about. Would that be okay? Can we set up a time?
I want to see the article before you do it.
No, it's not really. We can't do that. And
Why can't you do that? Because all I do is I validate all the stuff you're about to make up against me. The Washington Post, which is a wildly left-leaning publication, you have things you've said. You hate Trump, you hate Elon. Not that I'm those people. To think you're going to give me a fair shake. I wasn't born yesterday.
So why wasn't Emily ready to talk to Dave if the story was set to publish in 24 hours? She didn't have questions ready? Well, it's because she was never planning on talking to Dave. Reporters don't want to talk to targets when they can just drone strike them without emotion. Looking someone in the eye when you stick the knife in makes you feel dirty. You have to shower afterwards. And guess what? Emily canceled the morning interview. But because Dave recorded the exchange and has a powerful platform, the world can see the truth. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy joins me now. So, Dave, again, I'm sorry. It's a Willis Reed situation. Thoughts and prayers. I'm just doing the best I can with the glasses today. Why do you think the Washington Post hates you so much?
The only thing I come up with is, in this era, ever since Trump came on the scene, I feel like people's brains just got broken. The Washington Post is a widely left-leaning organization, like the New York Times, like Business Insider. It's the same group. It's like, unfortunately, I know whether I'm going to be talked about positively or negatively just by the name of the organization that I'm about to read. If it's Fox, I know it's probably going to be good. If I know it's, the Washington Post is going to be bad, and that is a sad state on both aisles, to be honest. You kind of can predict what's going to happen before it happens.
So because what? You associated with Trump or you interviewed Trump, they think you're a Trump guy and they want to take you down?
Yeah, I think that they view me. Well, there's a couple things. The connection to Trump. There is a general Barstool Sports, for sure, has a vibe of like bro culture, fratty, white, privileged male. We span everybody, but that is, I guess, what pops into people's mind. And those people are hated by the Washington Post, the New York Times, and we're seen kind of as a symbol of that. So that entitled person right now is somebody who is despised by the left. And we are a forefront blaring, me personally, signal for that, for the people who hate that culture.
So you're right, but it's gotten to a crazy new level where they don't just want to disagree with you or resent you because you're bro, you're fratty, whatever. They want to destroy your entire enterprise. They want to destroy the people you're giving money to charity to. They want to take down your sponsors. They want all your employees fired. What brought that from here to here?
I think journalism has become activism, really. They're not looking for the truth. The ironic thing, and you alluded to it, for this pizza festival, like the very people who are now trying to threaten these pizzerias and be like, you were going to write a hit piece and associate you with this bad person, they are all fighting to shut these people down. 2 years ago, they didn't want them open. I'm the one who was fighting to keep them open, raise money, keep small business. And then they turn around to these very people that we were trying to help save and say, you shouldn't do business with them. They have become activists. There's not an ounce of journalism. I watched the Walter Cronkite piece that you played in the beginning of this segment. There's no interest in telling both sides of the story, ever. I have been the subject of so many hit pieces, and I have started so many times cordially, let me tell my side of the story. Your facts are off. If anybody with an open mind who hasn't made their judgment, who listens to both sides is going to be, you know what? This guy is not who we're portraying him to be. No one has ever that's the only time that phone call that I had to record, that's the only time I've ever talked to who has written a hit piece about me. It's crazy, but that is the state of journalism. I grew up in an era with my dad, like, if I wasn't in media, I don't know that I know any differently. The New York Times is garbage. The Washington Post is garbage. They are activists. They're not journalists. They have no interest in the truth. None.
Well, because you were successful without them, so that drives them crazy. Have you ever spoken to someone that's written a hit piece about you at all? Well, that was the first time?
That's the first time I have, like I said, I have an exchange that the New York Times spent a year writing a hit piece on me. Emily Steele was the author's name. I reached out to her probably 10 to 15 times begging for a sit down. I knew she was going through my Instagram profile, contacting every acquaintance, people I knew, didn't know. I said, I will tell you anything you want to know. Right. I am an open book. Yeah, you have questions,
you're a little too much of an open book, Dave. That's the problem. So you have Steele and then you have the heel. Is the heel invited to Pizza Fest? Because she is a foodie.
Yeah, listen, here's the problem. They don't want to meet me because I'm not as despicable and horrible as, like you said, you don't want to see the person you're writing. That's why they don't, by the way. And then they can plead ignorance, be like, I didn't know this, I didn't know. If you interview me and you start getting facts, you may not be able to put pen to paper because you know you're being a jerk and dishonest. They lie to themselves. Yeah, she's invited. What do I care? She can come.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not only that they might learn facts. They might actually like you, Dave. And that's what they're afraid of. They actually might like you. They don't want to like you. They don't want to know you. They just want to hit you from 1,000 yards in the sky and then go on to the next target. All right, well, tell us a little bit about if people want to go to the event in Coney Island, how do they do that?
Yeah, so there's a couple tickets left. We're trying to avoid this tropical storm, but it's the best pizza in the country. It is. We're getting hammered with rain. It's going to be 35 pizzas, the best. DeFara, Lucali, you name it. We have the best Brooklyn Square pizza. $200, all you can eat. Sounds expensive. It's not. Sally's, Pepe's. If you're pizza, you have to be there. And maybe, who knows, Emily Heel maybe will have a slice of pizza and she can confess her sins to me.
All right. She can do a review. You guys will patch it up. Dave, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.